Okay, hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'm talking about the Sigma 24-70 here that I'm filming on. I've got it all the way open up to f2.8 and I've got a couple stops of ND on the lens. I'm not sure if it's focusing that well on my eyeballs, but this is kind of like an autofocus test. Right now the sun's just about golden hour, kind of going down, but this is what that looks like and what it sounds like with the Rode NTG3. I'm gonna kind of move around in the frame, see how it tracks me. It looks soft on the screen. Tracks me pretty well. You want to dance with me in the frame? It's an autofocus test. See if it'll track your face right here. Oh, too short. Never mind, sorry. There we go. Okay, so I'm at f3.5 on the Sigma 24-70 here. I want to zoom in into 70 millimeters, and so you can see how it tracks my face over here. So now I'm farther away. It tracks me pretty well once I stop down to like f3.5. f2.8 wasn't as fast or as soft. It was a little soft on my face because of the backlight. So that's a pretty common caveat to a lot of autofocus systems, is if you have backlighting, they're not as accurate because your face is on the shadow side. And I don't know, that's just the way autofocus systems still work. I'd be really curious to see if someone came out with like a LiDAR autofocus system, similar to what the new iPhone has, the iPhone 12. Because it uses LiDAR to actually get depth maps on people's faces rather than using the sensor. Like this one's dual pixel autofocus and the Sony's use phase detect. But this would be really cool to have like some sort of LiDAR system automatically determine your autofocus system on like a cinema camera like this. It'd be cool if like a Cinetape was like a LiDAR autofocus system rather than just, you know, depth mapping. That'd be pretty cool. Dang! When I turn on the camera, and the fan like kicks off itself, like here you're getting this, it's just like zoom. It's pretty dope. Okay, hey, so I am back from the park right now. We're here to talk about the Sigma 24-70. This is a really good all-arounder lens for a lot of full-frame cameras and even crop sensor cameras or Super 35 cameras, like my C300 here. And I just love that it has built-in image stabilization. That's the first thing. And then just the 24-70 like focal range is so useful. Not as useful as a 24-105. But having that f2.8 aperture, you can see right now I'm at f2.8, and I like to just get the background just a little bit more out of focus. It really helps stop any distractions from your subject, which is really important to me. So I always like to 2.8 if I can get away with it. Other pros about this lens: it's really sharp. I think it's too sharp for a lot of the stuff I do. I don't like a really sharp lens, so I had a Pro Mist in front of it because I want to bloom those highlights just a little bit. Another pro about the lens: the autofocus speed is pretty good with the dual pixel autofocus I'm using. I haven't tested it with any Sony cameras with their autofocus. So this is from a kind of a Canon perspective using the dual pixel autofocus. I haven't tested the Canon L series glass on my camera here to do any side-by-side autofocus tests, but I plan on doing one of those later. But yeah, first con about the lens is the focus ring is too small. I'm a big fan of the giant focus ring on the Canon L series glass, and even the 24-105 is a really nice big focus ring. It's definitely geared towards manual focus on the Canon L glass, where this is actually geared towards autofocus. It's not the focus ring is not the priority because it is a small ring on this. Second con is it's not on the outside. The zoom is actually on the outside of the lens and the focus is on the inside, and I don't like that. I wish it was on the outside. And that's pretty typical for cinema lenses, is your focus is on the outside and your zoom would be on the inside. So that's one downside to this guy. The last downside, I think, is just the general weight of the lens. Now, there are like a lot of cinema lenses that are much heavier, like the cinema series of the 18 to 35 cinema zooms, and the 50 to 100 are both very heavy lenses, much heavier than this guy. So in that respect, this is a light lens. But compared to just like, their photo lenses, this is really heavy. But that is due to the physics of making a full frame lens. I'm not taking advantage of the full frame aspects of this lens. I'm only using the center crop of the lens on my C300. But for my use, it's still a great all-rounder. Like, it gets the job done, and it is more than sharp enough for any commercial or TV show I'm shooting. Yeah, so that was just kind of a little bit of pros and cons about the lens. I think I'm gonna do some B-roll coming up. I've shot quite a lot with this lens now, so I'm gonna cut to some B-roll of some of the cool stuff I've shot with this lens already and enjoy that, and I'll kind of wrap up the video. Okay, so I really like this lens. I think I'm gonna link this lens in the video description below. It's definitely something worth picking up. I don't have any regrets getting this lens. I was looking at some of the cinema lenses, but so this lens retails for about $1,100 typically on B&H. I think that's what I got it for. Sometimes you can get them on a deal. Sometimes you can get them used, which is probably is the way I would suggest getting a lot of gear. Getting a lightly used photo lens isn't really going to hurt the glass. And typically, if you get something from Amazon, you can always return it if there's like something damaged in it. So this lens is cheaper than the Canon alternative. The 24-70 Canon still goes for about $1,700 sometimes, and that's a pretty high price for a lens that is older and isn't necessarily as sharp as this lens. I don't have any sharpness comparison tests between these lenses yet, but I would like to do that in a future video. But yeah, thanks so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see some more content, and have a good day. Bye.